Sure, why not? And let's take a look at it, shall we? Giga trying to explain an entire plot is like him trying to explain the entire Fate series. Yeah, that's literally how I known Giga or so. Back then when he did the whole entire like explaining the entire plot of like fucking the Fate series, I was like, what am I even watching at this point?
From Hoyoverse, and is one of their latest attempts to ensure I cry myself to sleep at night for not being able to collect my favorite fictional anime characters. You may know them from the worldwide sensation Genshin Impact on my credit rating, but this is not Genshin Impact 2 or Honkai Impact 4th. This is a completely standalone game about traveling across the universe, saving different worlds like...
How ironic when he literally said it's not Honkai Impact 4, but then they just recently just released Elysia into Honkai Star Rail. So it's kind of like, something isn't adding up here so far.
Space Canada, Space China, and Space Birmingham, featuring some of the most canonically straight women you can find in gaming. This is a gacha game, which is a genre of game where the main goal is to
oh man, gacha man, dude. I love that OST, to be honest. That was a good OST.
Obtaining them. My personal strategy boils down to a simple flowchart, wherein if there is a new character I can respectfully refer to as Mummy, I will violently do everything in my power to try to acquire them, only to get jump scared at the sight of receiving a child.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I can assure you that the E5
Hey man, just make me have a role or so for a mommy character in a gacha game. I got you, man. I'll make that character sell really well for certain people.
Clara on my account was achieved totally against my will, and I
want a mommy type character? I got you. I got you.
But Giga, what's the real gameplay? That is the real gameplay. And yet Star Rail has tacked on an entire bonus game on top of that, where you can gather a team of people, which in my case by complete coincidence all happen to be attractive women, traveling around the cosmos, taking it in turns, smacking each other with increasingly pretty animation, which is commonly referred to in the industry as turn-based combat. Where I get all the turns. As you can see here, my team I've named Weeaboo Mother's Day can do what I thought was a respectable amount of damage to get me through the story missions, and then you log into YouTube and find out there are people hitting enemies with a goddamn phone number.
That's a lot of damage!
Did I mention this video was sponsored by Honkai Star Rail? Because this video is sponsored by Honkai Star Rail. See, over the years, the Star Rail team have given...
The only way I would walk out of a recording booth for a voice acting thing, if they're literally forcing me to sound like a monotonish character. And I'm like, it just doesn't sound that great, you know? And they just keep gaslighting me and saying, no, it sounds great, it sounds great. I'm like, no, it does not. Stop telling me that it is, because it's not. Okay?
Me money to get addicted to their game that I immediately pay back through in-game currency, thus creating a self-sustaining economy with more stability than the stock market in the past 5 months. But today, Hoyoverse have given me my most challenging task yet. Understanding all of Honkai Star Rail. See, Honkai Star Rail has one of the most expansive stories featuring intergalactic wars between cosmic gods, the entire plot of Starship Troopers with...
It does? Well, actually, to be honest, I haven't really continued playing the story, so...
Kamen Rider, and the Lovecraftian nightmare creatures known as Twitch streamers that most people don't even know about, because in order to access this information it requires one feat that most gacha gamers are physically unable to do. Read. But as an ex-employee...
Really? He just put the Boondocks freaking meme in there. Read! Read!
of the BBC with a master's
I can't believe it, dude. He put a Boondocks thing in there. I'm surprised he's not getting cancelled for that, actually, to be honest.
Reading skills are unparalleled.
That's crazy.
Potentially cutthroat cohabitation
In the beginning.
And following the release of their biggest collaboration ever with Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works that's out right now, I thought I'd take a page out of my Fate days and break down the entire Honkai Star Rail universe for newbies and veterans, because sometimes when you're playing the game and hear a sentence like
Jing Yuan, one of the Arbiter Generals of the Cloud Knights and the Xianzhou Alliance on the Luofu, currently looking for disciples of Sanctus Medicus who are also trying to revive the Ambrosia.
You might as well be speaking to me in wingdings, but today I'll explain everything like you have the IQ of March 7th, and
I don't know, it sounds like a skill issue in my personal opinion.
by the end of this video, you will see that Honkai Star Rail is shockingly uncomplicated. And I can assure you, this is the short version. God damn it, it's another child!
That's right. Steve Handjobs is back, bitches.
Holy
Hello guys, it's been a
shit,
while. Welcome to my second
Jesus.
TED Talk where we talk about the Honkai Star Rail universe. Now before we fully dive into the story, there are a few core concepts everyone needs to know so that you can fully understand everything that's going on. Yes, I'm talking to you, dialogue skipper who lets every fight run in autoplay. I've definitely never done that myself. First and foremost, we have paths. But what is a path? I'm walking a path right now. No. In Honkai Star Rail, paths are totally different. See, they are these universal philosophical concepts that anyone can believe in and practice.
God, this sounds like a pain in the ass to edit, to be honest. I know how to do most of this stuff, but Jesus, the amount of time that you need to do or so for these.
That was a lot of big words for the average gacha player, so let me simplify it down for you. It's how you think, dummy. Let's say a person believes in preserving and protecting life. Well, they probably believe in the path of preservation. Get that, vegans? Oh, you hate conflict and think everyone should just get along? Well, harmony seems right up your alley. That's right. Paths are to weebs in the Star Rail universe what astrology is to white women. In-game, this translates to different gameplay
She is. It's called the MILF path, you know?
mechanics. A preservation character, for example, probably means they have a lot of shielding and can tank a lot of damage. Abundance characters, well, there's your healers. And destruction characters, destroy. Shit, damn, this is getting really complicated. And in the universe, anyone who practices a certain belief of any path is called a path strider. They walk that lonely road, the only road that they have ever known. I think I just quoted Green Day. And in rare cases, any one being
I
who
just
explores
finished
the
my
concept of their
food.
path in its entirety,
That was good food,
embodies
actually.
the beliefs, practices the philosophies as deeply as one can, they can ascend to become an Eon. Eons are essentially these godlike beings that completely embody one singular path. Let's take Nanook, for example. He is the
Take your
Eon
red,
for the
be
path
safe,
of
hon.
destruction. What does that mean? He is a hater. He is a hater on a level that no other being has ever seen. He hates everyone, everything. His hatred transcends racism, sexism, because he hates everyone equally. His path represents the belief that
So he's a racist, is what he is. So he's a racist.
the creation of the universe was a mistake, so he wants to destroy everything. Once again, proving that men would rather eradicate all life in the universe than go to therapy. Like, damn bro, you good? Can't you just like, get a pint, go to a log cabin, start a podcast like the rest of us? So my wife has actually just started playing Honkai Star Rail, and I have a quote from her about her interpretation of Nanook. He's just a little hottie with a body. Yes, okay, maybe he wants to destroy a universe or two, but he's just an edgy little bad boy. Shut the
He doesn't want to destroy. He doesn't want to destroy the world. He wants to destroy you.
fuck up and look at those pecs. Look at that emo fringe. Let me nuzzle in that yellow chest, Gussie. Now in the Star Rail universe, there are all these different factions that
Yeah, of
basically boil
course.
down to following one Eon. They see
She's
their
just down
philosophy
that bad,
and
you
goes,
know?
You know what? We can make a religion out of that. Well, why don't they make a path for gooning? I bet I can be a follower for that path. Well, joke's on you, there is a path for that. It's called the path of propagation, and here is your
Propaganda? Damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy path, to be honest.
Eon, Tazironth, an Eon whose sole motivation is to propagate and spread themselves across the universe, which was born out of a feeling of intense loneliness. He started self-replicating so much that he started a disaster that threatened the entire universe. So much so that other Eons needed to step in and be like, bro, can you stop gooning for 5 seconds? Imagine gooning so hard you almost wipe out the entire universe in the process. I wouldn't even be mad, I'd just be
You know what? You know who would probably do that, to be honest? It'd probably be Libido Man. Libido Man could probably do that. Libido Man can literally wipe out the entire universe if he could.
impressed.
With his
Honestly,
gooning.
knowing the Honkai Star Rail fanbase, that's probably the path they'd follow.
I knew you would come.
Now, below the Eons, you have the Emanators.
Come.
Now, these are people that have been acknowledged by the Eons themselves and have been given extra powerful abilities from them, which is actually a big fat fucking lie, because most of the Emanators that we've met so far have never even spoken to their bloody Eon. But don't worry about that. Because one thing you come to realize is that just because
Balls.
a specific faction follows a specific Eon, that doesn't necessarily mean the Eon actually fucks with them. Like, there are some factions who can be like, we follow the path of destruction. Nanook is our god. And Nanook can be like, who Who is this man's? Why does everyone keep saying this is my man's? This isn't my man's. In summary, for all you power scalers out there, you got Eons at the top, then below them you got the Emanators, then below them you got the Path Striders and factions that follow the Eons' beliefs. Then you multiply this by 18 because that's how many paths are currently in Honkai Star Rail. And that's where the lore of Honkai Star Rail can be a little daunting because there are so many characters, so many titles, so many factions. But when you break it all down, it all comes down to which path does a particular character follow.
What do you have? You have like... You have Europe, which is Bellabog. You have Luofu, which is Chinese. You have, what's the third city? What's the third city? It's supposed to give me like New York vibes. No, it's more like New York vibes is what it gives me. And the recent one, it gives me more like Rome vibes.
Everyone and every faction has a different drive and goal based on the path they follow, and all of the conflict in Honkai Star Rail revolves around the opposing beliefs that each Path Strider has. Did you get all that?
No.
Good. We can finally start at the beginning of the story.
Penacony.
Our story starts at the Herta space station, an amalgamation of a bunch of nerds who have a hard-on for the one and only Herta the goddamn genius. Philosophical hard-on, not an actual hard-on, I assume. Yes, this is one of the smartest individuals in the entire universe. A sassy lost child. Or her puppet. You know what? We'll get back to that. Helping her run the place, you have a girl about as privileged as Dog-VA, your diversity hires, and a dignified woman whose hobbies include theater, desserts, and breaking the Geneva Convention. At the station, they research all things that piques this little shithead's curiosity, and it's here that we get introduced to the first factions that will play a massive role in the entire narrative. First and foremost, you have the Nameless, which is an interesting name because constantly in the game, people can be like, hey guys, I'm Himiko, I'm a Nameless, so what's your name? Himiko. Bruh. This faction follows the Eon of Trailblaze, Akivili, which is the path that we follow.
This is what
Akivili.
probably looked like. This recreation identifies...
Akivili.
Are you telling me that the train turns into a giant Gundam or something?
They're all about traveling
Is that what that is? Is that what we're implying here?
A bunch of friends, the Luffy of the Honkai Star Rail universe. And this is our going merry. The,
That's a speculation,
train
yeah?
thing.
That sounds so dumb if that actually is true.
The Astral Express.
Now at this point, I just feel like they're just pulling shit out of their asses or so when it comes to the story. Hello, Alex. Thank you for the subscription or so. Welcome, welcome.
See, unlike other Eons who are too good to hang out with pathetic humans, Akivili was that cool older Uncle Eon who'd hang around with the kids and occasionally...
Is it like a
smoke their
Power
beers
Ranger
when
thing?
nobody
Yeah,
watching.
that's the thing about it, you know?
Which, I have no idea about. They were just a chill guy. So chill, in fact, that one day they mysteriously just fucked off. Nobody knows where they went. If they're alive, it was just the ultimate Irish goodbye. Now, at the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the Antimatter Legion. Remember our favorite edgelord Eon Nanook? Well, he was so edgy that he inspired other edgelords who don't want anything other than to see the universe burn. So they just go around fucking up other people's shit in the name of Nanook, being an overall vibe killer, and conveniently show up whenever there's a Stellaron. Wait, what is a Stellaron?
They've been pulling
Now,
stuff out of their
come
arse
closer.
since Sumeru, in my
Listen up,
opinion.
because
I
Stellarons
see.
are massively important throughout the entire story of
I think
Honkai
you can say
Star Rail.
ass, but I'm not too sure though.
I don't know.
I don't know what
Look,
words
all we're told is that
is
they're these
passable
weird,
and what's
mysterious
not
things
passable.
that pop up every now and again and bring disaster wherever they appear. Nanook loves them, probably
Yeah,
because
you
he
can
has
say
a hard on
ass
for
at least.
disasters, and his other name is the cancer of all.
I'm gonna have to tweak it though, but unfortunately I can't log into it because, well, it asks me to log into my Twitch account, and you know, well, I just can't log in. You know, I just can't log into my Twitch account at the moment, so that's the only reason why.
Worlds, which leads us right here to our wildcard faction, the Stellaron Hunters. Why are they called the Stellaron Hunters? Because they hunt Stellarons. Innit? Right now we don't exactly know why we're hunting Stellarons, but what we do know is that one of the characters is named Kafka, and it's probably the sole reason you first put money into this game. Don't lie to me, I see the date of your transaction history.
Bro, if he shows the Tectone clip or so where he literally took off his shirt for Kafka, that would be really funny.
What's this? I'm getting word from my producer that we actually have footage of Star Rail fans reacting to Kafka's introduction.
Oh, here we go.
Let's have a look. Jesus Christ, guys.
I knew you would.
And they actually kick off the events of this game because Herta, the goddamn genius Herta, thought it would be a great idea to leave a Stellaron hanging around somewhere on her station. And the game literally starts by Kafka breaking in and chest-fisting a Stellaron into an artificial body.
It would have been so
that
funnier, to
awakens
be honest.
Us, the Trailblazer. Yes, Kafka technically birthed us. That basically means that she is our mummy. Look guys, I don't make the rules, that's just the way it is. I'm just conveying to you the message Hoyoverse clearly wants us all to hear. This is literally the first thing you see when you wake up. And as a newborn, our first words were... This is also where we get to meet the current Astral Express crew, which is the crew that will be staying with us throughout the entire journey. First, we have Zumi's Incarnate, March 7th, who is, not exactly the brightest girl.
True, they definitely won't want to do that because I think they don't want backlash or so from the Hassan thing that happened a while back. That's probably the reason why.
She's the type of girl who tried to solve the issue of racism by...
Even though personally, if it's between Tectone and Hassan, I'd rather take Tectone over Hassan any day of the week, to be honest.
running, but that might be because she was found in this huge block of ice avatar style and has no memories of the life she lived before. So she decided to name herself after the date they found her.
But Dad, I was born in September. Why am I named?
Shut up, drunk New Year's party January 1st. Then there's Dan Hung, the brooding quiet kid who seems to have a mysterious past. I have another quote from my wife about Dan Hung. I tried zooming in closely, but as you can see, he is not very hung. So that was a fucking lie, but okay. He ain't no bad boy Nanook. Then of course you have the mum and dad of the Astral Express. Welt, who is actually a character from Honkai Impact 3rd, but got lost there and woke up in the wrong game. And of course, this person, which is Himiko, but not this Himiko. This is a totally different Himiko from Honkai Impact 3rd, which is different from this Himiko, who is Himiko from Honkai Gakuen 2. And this is him. Miko from Genshin Impact, no relation. And this, of course, is Saber. The only Saber in the Honkai universe. So far. A little bit of trivia, one of the Hoyoverse founders, Dewey's favorite character happens to be Misato from Evangelion, and his favorite character from every Honkai game just happens to be Himiko. Alright, so I see what you're putting down. So with the Stellaron stuck in us and no other memory of where we came from, what else is there to do but to join the Astral Express crew? Because if we choose not to, the game ends there. Our first stop is Jarilo-VI, a snow world stuck in a permanent ice age called the Eternal Freeze, leaving most of its landmass uninhabited, save for a few settlements. Yes, it's Space Canada. Without the maple syrup. Here you can find legally distinct Joseph Joestar, legally distinct Ilya and Bazaka, and of course Zila and Bronya, who have a bit of a history. See, here they become really good friends, but not too good of friends.
They're so gay for each other.
Just friends who bicker and fight sometimes, but they are
just
still
fuck already.
friends.
God
Good
damn,
friends.
man.
But this is unlike other incarnations in the Honkai-verse in different games, when they are also friends. They kiss. Kissy friends. But here, in Star Rail, they are just friends. Now kiss.
Yes.
They're just friends.
Just fucking kiss already. Fuck, man. Just make babies with each other.
Main faction you're going to find on
Fucking A,
Jarilo-VI
man.
are the
Jesus.
Architects, who are followers of the Eon of Preservation, Klipoth. And they're all about building walls and getting other planets to pay for it. They're led by the Supreme Guardian Kokolia, who is whoa. Her daughter is actually Bronya, and they lead the last settlement of humanity, Belobog. But Belobog has its own bog, and that's called the Underworld, which is under the world.
I haven't not seen enough art about them. The one thing I don't like about Giga is his takes on mecha animes being dead, which is dumb. Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I don't watch mecha, so.
Of Belobog, where they stick
Mechas don't
all
really
the
interest me
poor
that much,
and
personally.
Stinky people. I'm guessing it's mostly stinky people. Why? Fucking society, innit? And the Underworld is completely blocked off from the Overworld because
Turn down the horny,
Life is
everyone.
hard down
No,
here.
I can be horny.
It's dark and dirty, and people have to make ends meet by becoming miners and wandering into the great mines to find valuable resources. Somewhere, a Minecraft YouTuber is getting really excited about the mines, I mean, not the miners. The main enemy types here you can find are vagrants. Vagrants. VA Grant?
We'll just steal off the miners.
Look, life is hard down there, okay? Who cares if we steal from a miner or two? You guys are murdering us by the millions! So to keep it from becoming a lawless underworld, a group called Wildfire run everything down here. And they're led by, Man, I don't know what system of government they have for electing leaders down here in Jarilo-VI, but I think I might be onto something. Things are certainly not optimal for Space Canada, thanks to the Eternal Freeze, but life wasn't always like this. See, 1,000 years before the Eternal Freeze, Jarilo-VI was a prosperous place. Intergalactic civilizations start visiting Jarilo-VI, hoping to get in contact with the natives. The architects set up shop, opened a few Starbucks, and everyone lived in harmony. Until the Stellaron attacked. People started getting shook. Some pieced the fuck out, fearing the calamity it could bring, and this bad bitch named Melissa Rand starts building walls and settlements. Because, of course, the Antimatter Legion show up and are like, guys, come on, let us in. We promise we're not going to destroy anything. Okay, that was a lie. Okay, we're joshing you. We're going to do a little bit of destroying. Starting a 30-year-long war, pushing humanity to its brink. And in desperation, Alyssa Rand hits up the Stellaron and is like, hey, Mr. Stellaron, so can you, help us get rid of the Antimatter Legion? You can use any means necessary. By any means necessary. Yep. You do realize I'm a Stellaron, right? You know, bringer of calamity, destruction, disaster. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. So the Stellaron decides to turn the thermostat down a bit. The Antimatter Legion go, it's cold, I'm out of here. Congratulations, Alyssa, you've successfully repelled the Antimatter Legion. Yay! What's the catch? You've wiped out all other life and made this planet totally uninhabitable. Fuck. And thus,
Well, that's one way to ruin your planet, I guess. Just turn down the AC a bit, you know? That's one way, you know?
begins the Eternal Freeze until we show up. So what's the storyline of Jarilo-VI? Bitch be wildin'. We rock up in our space train, knock over some trash cans, kick some Antimatter Legion ass, and we're all like, don't worry guys, we're here to save you from the Stellaron. To which Kekolia replies, oh, you here to save us? Is that what I heard? Go to jail. Because little do we know, the Stellaron has actually been whispering in her ear, being like, psst, hey, wouldn't it be bants if you just, I don't know, destroyed the world and rebuild it anew? Oh my god. I love Code Geass. Boys, what are we saying? She a 10, but she wants to wipe out all life from the planet. So the entire storyline of this
Imagine that.
arc is just us trying to take
Wait,
down
you're telling me that Honkai Star Rail predicted the future?
He's gone a bit loop-de-loop. And it all comes down to one final showdown where everyone teams up. Nameless versus Stellaron. Mother versus daughter. Where we immediately get stabbed. Well, guys, that's it. Game over. Pack it up. It's over.
He's gonna talk about the OST, isn't it? Yeah. I'll be honest with you, that first boss was really good, to be honest. The OST was really good, but then afterwards it was just kind of like they kind of did an Attack on Titan thing. You know how Attack on Titan did the most craziest thing in the first episode, and then everything else, it's still okay, right? But it was still good, but here they did it, but it's just far worse than Attack on Titan. So they blew their load too early.
We get back up with Klapov's aid, get a new preservation form, and beat the fuck out of her with the power of rock music and this giant fucking robot bloody mega fisting her into the ground. God damn, this sequence was awesome. Wait a minute. Oh man. Bronya, having killed Kekolia with her own hands, is left in tears, knowing she did
never
the
blow
right
your
thing,
load too
but
early,
still
chat.
processing the death of her own mom. Then March 7th comes
If
in.
I ever do a gacha game in the future, I'll be honest with you guys, I would probably do a complete story. I'll definitely try to do a story that's completed or so. Because then the only thing we would have to focus on or so would probably be updates, updates and stuff like that, and then like just kind of like, you know, just like the characters that you guys saw. I don't know.
Like,
Something
hey
like
guys,
that.
wasn't that so fun? Let's go to the
I
pub
don't
and
know.
grab a pint. The
Something
sun on its
stupid
Bronwyn
in my
becomes
personal
Supreme
opinion. I
Guardian,
don't know.
The underworld is opened up, no more stinky people, and of course, Zila and Bronya continue being friends. Job done.
Or I
Now-
could probably do like, if I'm gonna do like a gacha game, I would do chapters. So I would write out the entire story of the game itself, and then we do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and then chapter 5.
Now we move on to
Luofu.
That's how I would do it.
China. It's just China in space. Humans, furries, and scalies live in unison on these ships, with each ship housing different races and cultures with names I can barely pronounce. Here you can find people like Space Kongming,
No, it's 20 fucking 80.
the Garden Death Battles, Sassy Lost Child version 2, Daniel, the cooler Daniel, and Blade, the embodiment of Black Air Force energy, literally saving up centuries of hatred, going around looking for just one thing. A way to die. And he looks like this. And he calls himself Blade. Bro is canonically hundreds of years
Just don't
old.
do the mystery box thing in storytelling. Mystery box? What do you mean mystery box? What is that? I've never heard of that before.
And hasn't mentally
28
matured past
are
the age
evil
of
co.
14.
Yes,
Now,
I'm
for this story,
truly
we're
evil.
just focusing on the
Luofu.
but it is just one
I'm
of 6
truly
ships,
evil.
all together forming the Xianzhou Alliance, which can also be split up into different
Truly
divisions
evil.
run by different groups of people that sometimes have guilds within them, causing factions within factions within factions within factions within factions within... Meaning every character we meet here has a title about as long as your average light novel name, like they jack off every time Daenerys Targaryen introduces herself. It would take
I personally like Gwyneth. I think Gwyneth is really cute. She kind of reminds me of Yoimiya from Genshin Impact, so...
this entire video length just to break down every faction within this one ship. So we are going to focus on what is most important for the main conflict, and that revolves around the long life species that you can find on the ship, which are species that can live long lives, as opposed to the short life species, or baby men, which is what I imagine they're called by the long life species. First off, we have Foxians, who are fox-like beings with fox-like...
Personally, I wouldn't make a gacha game out of this. I'd probably just make it just a full-fledged game, because people are getting gacha fatigued right now at the very moment.
characteristics, and on the furry scale they land about here. That's still good, right? I think that's still
Mystery
good.
Box is J.J. Abrams type of storytelling. I have no idea who J.J. Abrams is. I have no idea.
But you know what? Let me check with my local furry expert. Yo, D, how does that look?
What the fuck? How would I know? Come on, D. You know why.
So don't worry, facial mage. You guys are still safe. It's not too late yet. Xenozone Zero players, please seek professional help. Then we got the Vidiharas, Vidimhara, Vidimen. These are people with dragon-like characteristics who are functionally immortal. But instead of going through one long lifespan, they go through a cycle of rebirth, where after a certain age, they get reborn while their body gets repaired and lose all their memories. In a process the FBI calls Schrodinger's lolly, where characters can canonically be both 13 and 1300 years old at the same time. And lastly, we got the Xianzhou natives, who bring the
Are you saying that she's supposed to be like 13 years old? Lingsha is supposed to be 13 years old. Is that what he's is that like literally what he's referring to? I have no idea. So like I said, I don't know anything about the lore, so.
in beef to this all-you-can-eat buffet. Many years ago, the Xianzhou Alliance traveled the stars to search for immortality, where they just happened to run into the Aeon of Abundance, Yaoshi. Now Yaoshi, she's a giving Aeon.
I'd still with Smash anyways, so.
Maybe a bit too giving, but don't worry about this part of the title.
Lingsha's hot at the end of the
She sees
day,
everyone
so.
turn up asking for immortality, and she's like, you get immortality, and you get immortality, and you get immortality. What's this I'm holding in my hand? It's just, don't worry about it. So she plants this big-ass tree called the Ambrosia Arbor that allows anyone who eats its fruits to become immortal. Yay for trees, guys! We love trees! But unfortunately for the Xianzhou natives, they get so much immortality and live for so
I have
long
Lingsha, guess
But
so.
eventually they fall into madness and the body mutates into this zombie tree-like thing that they call Marastrom.
Mother
And so once
Nature.
everyone realizes that immortality isn't everything it's cracked up to be, they all start to turn on this all-giving Aeon of Abundance. And it's like, fuck you, fuck everything you stand for, fuck all your followers, and fuck your stupid little arms. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of feel bad for Yaoshi. Like, aside from this, there was also a time when the Foxians were going through a famine on their planet. So in desperation, they ask Yaoshi to give them some food. She plants so much food for them that eventually it spurs a population explosion that kills their ecosystem and destroys their planet. Like, when are people going to learn that her name is the Aeon of Abundance? Not the Aeon of, okay, just tell me when. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, yeah, you can stop now. That's enough slices! Because in response to the immortality epidemic, everyone on the who changes their path to the path of the hunt. Now, the path of the hunt is similar in philosophy to the path to destruction, but unlike Nanook, who is like, fuck everyone, the hunt is more like, fuck you, just you, fuck you in particular. Like the Aeon of the Hunt, Lan, is the self-proclaimed sworn enemy of abundance and will go around endlessly eradicating any followers of Yaoshi. Bro's got more generational hatred than Dio does.
Man, the racism sounds kind of real in this game. Wow, there's so much racism in this game. Wow, it's so crazy.
Joestar lineage. And poor Yaoshi is just in the corner, sitting down, going like, guys, I don't mean to victim blame, but you literally did ask for it. So they commit a bit of casual deforestation, destroying this immortality granting trees because fuck trees. Am I right? What the fuck have trees done?
It is pretty much a
Supplying oxygen and
documentary so
immortality
far.
to people. Puh, I spit on you. So what's the Luofu storyline? It's this tree and a Stellaron. Because of course it's a Stellaron. We hear a rumor that there's a Stellaron on board the
Luofu.
from Kafka, and you know what happens when Kafka
Luofu.
goes fetch? We go, and it seems like someone's gone and fucking done it by planting a Stellaron at the root of this tree, causing it to resurrect.
My question is, did he have to replay the entire story or so to get some of this footage? That's my curiosity.
Along with this deer tree thingy. But who could have done such a thing? Turns out, not everyone agrees that immortality is a bad thing, so they all gather together in secrecy, forming this weird-ass group called the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, who looked at the way everyone was hating on Yaoshi and was like, I know Yaoshi, yeah, she crazy, man. She fucking sucks. God, I hate her guts. Can't let guy know I secretly fuck with this. Little do we know that there's a real mastermind orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. That's revealed to us at breakneck speed. Yep, it was a real plot twist. Someone got Thanos snapped out of existence. All right, I'm gonna go watch some TikTok chiropractor videos now. You'll never be able to guess who it is this time.
But does he know that that's not the real that wasn't the real freaking what's her face? Fugu? That was not the real one though. If I remember correctly, that's what they said, right? That's not the real one. That was like a fake one.
Lads, that's right. The fucking Antimatter Legion are at it again. And this time is one of their head honchos, Fantilia, who is one of Nanook's emanators. And she takes the form of, god damn! Pretty sure Thanos had to clap for this one. Yes, this entire thing was just the Antimatter Legion trying to destroy the
Luofu
from within. And they would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for Dan Heng, who is secretly a dragon person, because Dan Heng is actually the reincarnation of Dan Feng, the cooler Daniel, not to be confused with Dan Sung.
Ruin May helped in reviving hers and she got hotter too. Wait. So if you're saying they revived her, that means she actually did die. So so that was the real one that died and they just brought her back to life? Never heard such BS storytelling in my entire life, to be honest. I swear nobody dies in these games.
Or Dan Dung, who also has a history with Blade, because they used to be really good friends, but not too good of friends. But according to some of the lore you can find in some of the relic sets, they were what you call bosom friends. Hey, yo, what? But that's all in the past now, because Blade actually hates Dan Heng, because Dan Heng was previously Dan Feng, and Dan Feng committed a crime which caused Blade to be immortal. So Blade now hates Dan Feng, but he got reincarnated to Dan Heng, so they are no longer bosom friends, they are bosom enemies. Now kiss. They're just enemies, guys! So we get another team up. Dan Feng returns.
Just like near death IIRC, like it insanely bad shape. Could be wrong though. I gotta watch that again. That is the most retarded. Okay, if that actually is, if Ting Yun was actually Fugu, and they brought her ass back to life or so, all I'm gonna say is that the story is butt cheeks now. The story is ass. If that's literally true. I would have preferred if they said no, that was not the real. That was not the real one. It was a fake one that was made out of mirage or so from another person's body to make it look like Ting Yun from from what's her face, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool actually, to be honest.
And parts the fucking waterway, Moses style. We take down the second mummy boss of this game so far, and this boss music is an absolute bop. That's it.
Luofu.
Done. All right, this video is getting
Music
a bit
is pretty
long,
good, but it's not that crazy though.
What do we got next? Fuck my life. Welcome to Penacony, the land of festivities, where the game goes from just taking a few hours to complete all the story missions to a lot more.
Look it up. She was just very injured. Bro, her neck literally snapped in the wrong direction. What do you mean she was just hurt very badly? That's just bad storytelling writing if that's actually true.
This world is the
I'm gonna be honest with you, I never cared about Ting Yun anyway, so. Like, honestly, I never cared about her because, like, you barely have any interaction with her.
Distinct Disneyland for people who look like this, bringing in the wealthiest and most privileged individuals from all around the universe thanks to its main attraction, the dreamscape.
Tick-tock! Our friends awake and asleep. Welcome to...
Fuck me, is that Tiki Mouse? The dreamscape is like if Inception and The Matrix had one big incestuous baby. It's a lucid dream world you share with all the other attendees there where anything is possible.
This is literally what they need to do for VR. That's literally it. If they do something like this for VR, trust me, people would probably be playing VR for a long time, to be honest.
Get blackout drunk without having a hangover? Go for it. Oh, that's just fucking Tuesday at Spoons, innit? Gacha! In your gacha game. Because spending your real-life money wasn't enough. Not even fall damage can kill you, which would be relevant if Star Rail actually had a jump button. Here we'll run into people like Dr.
That's 100% fact. 3D food videos are way better. Yes. They get to the plot real quick.
Plus Ratio, the real gacha man. My little sister. My little sister can't be this cute. And just another totally normal cute anime girl here. Nothing to see here, guys. Just another cute wife out to your collection. And of course, season 20 of my favorite Hoyoverse anime. Can a girl-girl friendship survive? Now kiss. I need an adult. This is also where we get introduced to a plethora of new factions because they've invited everyone under the sun to attend, so I'm going to try and keep this as fast as possible. Starting things off with one of the biggest factions in the Honkai Star Rail universe, the IPC. The IPC is like if the IRS, Amazon, and the S&P 500 came together and made one big incestuous baby. And don't ask why I keep saying incestuous baby, it's not that deep. It is the mega corporation of megacorporations, controlling all business transactions from across the universe. Its mere concept is enough to give Jeff Bezos the biggest morning wood of his life. They supposedly follow our old friend Clipoff, the Eon of Preservation, but the IPC believes, unlike the architects from Jarilo-VI, that they need one thing and one thing only to help Clipoff meet their goals. Money. And they've sent one of their representatives, Adventurine, to try and get some of those big fat Penacony profits, which is on brand because one of his attacks is literally beating the fuck out of you with money. He's not even rich. He's just reckless about spending his money. Honestly, I vibe with that. You have the Galaxy Rangers, which in this case comes in the form of Boot Hill, who is a space cowboy and is like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 with parental controls on.
Son of a nice lady.
There's Acheron, who pretends to be a Galaxy Ranger, but really her true identity is the Emanator of Nihility, which makes her pretty damn powerful. Now, Nihility is all about a state of nothingness or non-existence, so I don't know how she got the job, but I assume it went something along the lines of You got the job. Wait, what? There's Black Swan, now her whole
And my Acheron is still one of the most overpowered characters on my team still, to this day.
thing becomes a lot more relevant in the next world, so we'll come back to her. There's this one girl from a faction called the Masked Fools who is not too relevant right now, but I just want to mention their Eon, because their entire path philosophy seems to be Lamau, why not? Like this one time, made one of their emanators a worm. A fucking worm. Like, can you just imagine all the Eons out there vying for power, and Aha's just there in the corner like, he turned into a worm. Funniest shit I've ever seen. The Celeron Hunters are back at it again, this time sending in Firefly, who has a sad backstory because she has space cancer or some shit, but most importantly, she takes you on a date. A date. And then she ended up crashing top-up services and breaking every revenue record Star Rail had on release. Like, come on!
The funny thing about it, I never cared about Firefly. I literally met her for like 10 minutes. She fucking like literally trauma dumped me. And then she dies afterwards. And I'm like, okay, all right. Am I supposed to care?
Come on, guys. Are we such simple creatures? Are we just that easy to manipulate? Why are you showing footage of my Firefly? And all these different factions gather together on Penacony.
For me, storytelling of her was terrible, to be honest. I'm just kind of like, really?
Family. That's run by a man named Gopher Wood, who has 2 adopted children in Sunday and Space Taylor Swift. And their security is run by Gallagher, right here. Finally, Star Rail adding a proper daddy to their roster.
I'm 13.
Goddamn. My boy's aging at the speed of light. And their history ties right into the founding and main storyline of Penacony, because before Penacony was this luxury vacation spot, it was a barren desert with a rather embarrassing leakage problem, because it was leaking Memoria. What is Memoria? It's memory cum. Alright, if you want a more detailed explanation, Memoria is this substance that serves as a vessel for human memories and consciousness that seems to be some sort of physical manifestation of memories or mental energy that can sometimes group together in high
I would just
concentration
outclassed her
and can have a
so
negative
hard.
impact if a
What?
normal
Who? You mean Acheron?
human is exposed to it for too long.
Or a Firefly?
It's memory cum. So the IPC sees
Memory
this and thinks, turning Penacony into a prison planet where they send all their prisoners to help fix the Memoria leaks. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I have Rappa. I like her because her design-wise.
Yes, everyone thought Penacony was meant to be Vegas, but think about it. Former prison colony, barren deserts, pokies everywhere you look. This is fucking space Australia. Eventually, the prisoners spend so much time around Memoria.
Really? They said it's Las Vegas or something like that for Penacony? I don't know. It gives me more New York vibes, to be honest.
Yeah,
like
but they
old
begin
school New
losing their
York.
absolute dicks and they start to enter a shared dream world, like the ultimate VR gamers in a shared server. Now, what do all gamers dream of doing together? That's right. Rising up. They rise up against the IPC, take back the planet, and of course, this is the perfect time for a Celeron to come in and be like, "Why, hello there. Allow me to introduce myself." With the planet in utter chaos, this is when Xipe, the Eon of Harmony, descends down and tells them, "Yes, it is I, the Eon of Harmony. Can you, like, stop being so not harmonious and stuff?" Nice rack! So Xipe helps the prisoners integrate into the family.
I just called it
They
New
split up
York.
into 7 different
It gives me more
factions,
New
which
York
eventually
vibes.
becomes 5, giving them control over Penacony with no more IPC. Yay! We did it, guys! We beat capitalism! And so then the family thinks to themselves, wait guys, hear me out, crazy idea. What if we turn this shared dream world into a commercialized vacation spot where all the rich people spend all their money, and we can even throw this big festival called the Charmony Festival where we only invite the most important people from around the universe to attend. Yay, capitalism! Now, as followers of the Harmony, a path all about getting along well with each other through mutual trust and cooperation, you'd think the family would be just a bunch of chill dudes. Well, that would be the case if the leader wasn't secretly getting his dick wet for another Eon. See, Eons might seem like these immortal, everlasting, godlike beings, but they can actually be slain, and some of them can even be absorbed into other Eons. Which is exactly what happened to Enna, the Eon of Order. Now, Enna is all about controlling the masses through strict oppressive means to maintain order. She is the final form of your Asian mum when you tell her you're getting an art degree.
So she's the Karen, basically.
Every good Minecraft YouTuber, bitch just became irrelevant, and eventually Xipe came along and assimilated Enna inside of her, which is essentially an Aeon getting bored to death. I don't know why I wrote that sentence. But unfortunately for Penacony, this Asian mom is the Eon that the head of the family secretly follows. They don't want the new hotness. They want old and busted. And so the head of the family comes up with this plan to resurrect Enna and leaves it to his adopted son, Sunday, to enact it. Now, Sunday is a man with a strong personal philosophy. He just wants everyone to be happy, even if that happiness comes from sheltering people from the harsh realities of the world by force. And he thinks this way because he saw a bird once. Okay, well, there we go. All right, I'll leave you for a second. We'll come back to him. He wants to activate the Stellaron, putting Penacony into a permanent dream world where people can't wake up from it. It will be a perfect paradise with no conflict, no pain, no suffering, and no illness, where people are completely unaware that it's a dream. Oh, he's the bad guy, right? Oh, I'm sorry, free will. People don't get free will. Yay for free will. I always choose free will.
I'd be very curious to see how he explains the next part of the story, because I haven't really played most of this, to be honest. I stopped, I think, like part 2 of Penacony. That's it.
Finding my life increasingly dictated by algorithms. Yeah. Because if there was one thing Sunday didn't account for, it was us, the Trailblazer. Because we turn up to the final battleground, because is he still talking about the bird? Let's give him a minute, I'm sure he's almost finished.
8 hours later.
To fashion a cage for it.
Oh, because we turn up to the final battleground because a little birdie once told, oh, for fuck's sake. And this all culminates in one of the most hyped moments of the game so far, where we take on this heavenly mechanical conductor thing while fucking Space Taylor Swift sings in the background and we throw a goddamn train at it. Yes, we beat the final boss by driving a fucking train into it.
Should I even do the story for the rest for this game? I have no idea if we should or not. Maybe one day we'll do it.
It was fucking beautiful. Look guys, all I'm saying is, I'm not an Idol fan, but in the aftermath, the IPC come back and acquire some shares of Penacony, which somehow ends in us getting 5%, which, I mean, yay, capitalism! And then Black Swan hitches a ride with the Astro Express along with the newly reformed Sunday as well. All right, Sunday, I know you just tried to take over Penacony, but we're cool with that. We're cool. I can forgive that. Just, if you're gonna be here, can you just not talk about any birds? Is that cool? Are you cool with that? All right. Let's fly off to our next destino. This brings up to our...
Wait, so he got reborn again? So wait, we killed him, but he got randomly reborn again? Okay, alright.
Final stop so far, and Star Rail's most ambitious story yet.
Nah, he didn't die.
Amphoreus. Now, at the time of writing this, Amphoreus' arc is not currently finished, so we're not going to get too heavy into spoilers, so I'll just give you a basic overview of what this world is about. Welcome to the world of God of War. In space, a world themed about the Greek mythos that nobody knows anything about. It's so shrouded in mystery that even Akavili did not visit this place when he was trailblazing around the universe. Come on, Akavili, mate, get with it. How the fuck do you miss this place? And the only reason we know anything about it is because of Black Swan. Remember when we said we'd come back to Well? Well, Black Swan is a member of the Garden of Recollection, and they follow the Eon Fuli, the Eon of Remembrance. This path is all about preserving memories and keeping records of everything that's happened so no one forgets anything, which is useful for anyone over the age of 30. Because if you've been paying close attention, you may notice that every world's been themed around a certain path. We've gone from preservation to abundance to harmony, and now we are here at Remembrance. We even get our own remembrance powers by adopting this cute little pink feline called Mem, who stays with us on our journey and constantly talks in our ears.
I don't know anything about the story on this point, so.
Oh no, this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. But what is this world all about? Well, remember at the start of the video when I said try not to be intimidated by the amounts of eons out there? Well, apparently that wasn't enough information because Amphoreus has its own godlike beings that are not eons or emanators. They're called Titans, and they created the world of Amphoreus. And there are 12 of them! Oh god, by the end of this game, I swear, Star Rail's gonna have more mythology than actual mythology. All right, lock in, gang, because I'm gonna go over this.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
war and death to the planet.
Okay, a good information to be honest.
Alright, you get all that?
I don't even know what the story is for this place, to be honest.
No one was listening? Well, that's okay, because unless you actually want a deep dive on how each Titan story ties into the world, all you really need to know is that all of these Titan came from these things called core flames that was given to Amphoreus by an even higher god. Who is this higher god? I don't know. I'll never tell. XOXO, Gossip Girl.
Huh?
I don't actually know. The most notable Titan you should be aware of, though, is Kephaleh, the world-bearing Titan, who created the humans of this world and is the site of humanity's last stronghold. Because everything was chill until the Black Tide came along and fucked everything up. Wait, it's the Black Tide this time and not a Stellaron? That can't be right. Stellaron! Stellaron! Where are you? I know you're hiding somewhere here, you son of a bitch! The Black Tide is this mysterious corrupting force that turns people into fucking fent-out tweakers. It destroyed multiple cities and turned several of the Titans mad. And so, to avoid corruption, Kephaleh just goes, dun 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 dun, fucking blue screens himself, but not before bestowing a prophecy upon humanity. 12 chosen heroes with golden blood will appear, strong enough to defeat the Titans and take their core flames, ascending to become demigods. Only then will humanity come to a new era of prosperity. I don't know why I said come. These heroes will be known as the Amphoreus 5-star units. Or the Chrysosairs. And that's the basic premise of Amphoreus. We go around kicking the shit out of the Titans.
I have Tribi and I have Castorice.
The Chrysos heirs, jacking their core flames and letting Hoyoverse spend their budget on these very beautiful alt animations. You have Tribios, who despite her looks is already a demigod, along with Aglaia, who has the core flame of the
I thought it was Aglia. I thought that's how you pronounce the name.
Titan of romance, and all I'm saying is, she can romance me anyhow. What? There's Castris, who is she's okay. Nothing much to say about her story, actually. And
I like her design, to be honest.
Of course, you have Mighty and Phynon. Mighty, who is an Angie boy, who I swear to God is trying to compete with Sung Jin Woo for Aura Farmer of the Year. And then you have Phynon, who is a good boy. The goodest of boys. And he goes through a lot. Together they make a great team, except they would do if they weren't bitter rivals who compete in absolutely everything they do. But guys, that's actually really early because they actually care about each other and they're just trying to bring out the best in each other because they're the best of friends, but they would never admit that
I like
because
her global
they're bitter
passive,
rivals.
just to spite CC's. What the fuck?
You know,
What the
I would
fuck?
say now kiss.
What the hell?
I'm pretty sure
What
they
the
already
fuck
kissed
was
each other
that?
goodnight.
Did they just start randomly moaning at each other? They start jerking each other off or something at the sauna or at the spa? yo, they have gay sex scenes here? Wow, why did they tell me? What the fuck? Whoa! Yo! That was kind of hot, I ain't gonna lie, to be honest.
Surface level explanation
just bros doing bro things, you know? Just the tip, you know?
all the things hiding underneath this world. I will say there have been some developments in the overarching story arc, but what I will say is that compared to previous arcs, the setup and execution is actually far more straightforward than what we've seen in Star Rail before. We are just over halfway through the story arc right now, and I will say, as an aside, it is actually shaping up to be my favorite Star Rail story arc and world so far. I don't need that. And of course, that leads us to the final development in the Honkai Star Rail universe, the fated crossover with Fate Stay Night's Unlimited Blade Works. I see.
All right, Gaunt, how much you got paid or so from Hoyoverse to do this this video? Because this is the most randomest video I've ever seen in my entire life. How much did you get paid for this video? How much did you get paid for sponsoring this video, huh?
We fucking did it, guys! I don't know how, but it actually happened. Now, this storyline isn't like all the previous storylines we covered. This is more of a side story. Think of it as a beach episode with no beach and just a holy grail. We head back to Penacony, where one of the heads of the families, Oti, was messing around, where he just stumbles upon a holy grail. But not just any holy grail, it is a mini holy grail. Bro, I'm lucky enough to find...
I'm very curious if he even criticizes anything about the story. I'd be very curious because I remember that a lot of people threw flack or so on the story for the collaboration. Best collab? Okay,
this
buddy.
guy stumbling upon a bloody holy grail, and so he decides to host his own mini holy grail war. Now, any true Fate fan would know that the holy grail war is always held in secret with no way for the public to know. But this one is different. OT holds a public Holy Grail war, and I assume charges people more than your average influencer boxing match to watch the bloodbath unfold. 4 summoned famous people from Penacony, where some of them mess up and accidentally summon some familiar faces from a different universe. Wait, wrong universe, wrong universe! As one of the masters, the Trailblazer accidentally summons the King of Knights themselves, Saber. Adventurine somehow summons Archer, and of course, Boot Heel gets our favorite son of a nice lady, Lancer, who is alive. And Berserker's master and servant is Oti? He's Berserker's Star Rail's master and servant? But we have Berserker right over there. And that's it! The collaboration is out right now, so whether you're a Fate fan or a Star Rail player or you're both, go get it while you can, gamers. And that
is such a paid thing right there. That is such a paid actual part right there.
Completes my very quick rundown.
Yeah, that microphone though. That microphone took a shot or so.
Of Honkai Star Rail. Look, this game has only been out for about 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, there is so much lore and so...
This game has been out for 3 years? What? Has it? I don't even know. I don't keep track anymore, so
much story to go through that I had to cut a ridiculous amount out of some of these worlds. This all was meant to just be a very basic introduction into the entire world and story of Star Rail, and even then, it somehow is even longer than my Fate video. So if you want to get the full picture, there are already some very talented content creators covering this topic, or you know what? You can just go play the game yourself, because while this is the short version, I will categorically say this now, that there will never be a long version from me. But who knows what the future holds.
Yeah, how much you got paid for it, huh?
Video. Once again, thank you very much to Hoyaverse for sponsoring today's video.
Ah, there it is. There it is. I was wondering, where is it at? Where is it at, Giga? Where's the sponsorship at? Yeah, there it is. There it is.
You can check out the Honkai Star Rail Fate collab right now by clicking that link in the
description
to check it out for yourself. But guys, extra add-on, I am doing a one-time only theater premiere for my anime, Ban. It is going to be on the 24th of August at 6.
He's making an anime? What the fuck? This is new to me. What the fuck? I didn't know he was making an anime. What the hell? Really? Oh, that's cool, actually.
PM at the Grand Cinema Sunshine Ikebukuro in Japan. I'm excited, but very, very nervous to show you guys what I've been working on. So if you want to join me for what is possibly the biggest night of my career so far, you can get tickets at barnpremiere.peatrix.com.
It's an... No way that it is an isekai. Is it actually an isekai?
In the description below as well. But yeah, even though this was a sponsored video, this took a lot of work. Way more work than any of my usual videos. So I want to give a quick shout out to my editing team and just my team in general.
Wasn't he a Lolicon enjoyer as well, if I remember correctly? I don't know if it, I don't remember.
We make this video. There is absolutely
we'll take a look at the trailer.
way I could have done this by myself or with just one person. As you can hopefully tell, even though this was a sponsored video, they put their everything into this, and I think they earned a much needed break. And guys, just a quick update.
Oh, Joey is the lolly enjoyer. That's the anime man, right?
seasonal summer anime in a nutshell video will be a little bit late this season because I've been kind of busy working on this mega
The Trash Chase hosts are a bit of a corporal guys. Well, not surprised because they're they're super popular. So
project and also working
Giguk is a
on
Wincest
another
team.
mega project.
Giguk is he's part of the incest team. That's funny. That's pretty hilarious to be honest.
Which is an anime.
That's funny.
So
That's
I apologize for.
I didn't know about that
video
actually, to be
coming
honest.
a
That's
little
pretty
bit later
hilarious.
this season, but it is still coming.
I knew you would come.
Anyway, though, that's been it from me for today. I've been Giguk, and I'll see you all next time.
That's crazy though. That's funny. We gotta go take a look at that trailer though. Anyways, that was a damn good video actually. I actually enjoyed that. That was actually a pretty good video. Not bad. Not bad. I was definitely not expecting it. Like I said, I haven't really continued playing the story for this thing for this game in general. So I kind of like stopped playing it after a while. So all I do is just kind of farm for it. Anyways, let's go take a look at it real quick. Anyways.